So what's up guys, LazyNeil here, and today I just wanted to showcase this. This is a pretty cool thing which I bought, and this is definitely a controller. This is the Xbox One wireless controller, and I got this just for 2000 rupees. Now the reason why this is such a good deal is because if you go on Amazon, the original price is 5,000, which you see over here. So if I just zoom in on this, if you see, current price is around 5,000. Again, you can get some bank offers or things like that, but the price is 5,000. And if you buy it from, the Xbox store, it is a little bit more expensive. But as you get on Amazon, I would take that as a benchmark. So the questions which I wanted to discuss while buying this controller is, first of all, why did I buy it? How did I buy it? How can you buy it? And how can you check if the controller is good to go? Which I'm going to be explaining a bit later. And also I'm going to be showcasing some of the things which I bought, mainly this, and how good or bad they are. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. First of all, I just wanted to showcase the box itself. As you see, the box is not in the prettiest shape. And that is why, because I really don't want to keep people, out of the loop. This is a used controller. Yes, this is a used controller. And I bought this from OLX for just 2000 rupees. The guy who I got it from basically used it just for 2 months. And as he bought a PS5, he's like, I don't have much use for this. So that's the reason why I got such a good deal on it. So here it is. This is the shock blue variant, which is, again, if you see my surroundings, I love the color blue. So that's the reason why I was more into this one. So it also, as you see, supports the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows 10, and Android and iOS. It comes with 2 AA batteries, and if you see over here, it has a hybrid D-pad, share button. It has wireless and Bluetooth, which is super cool. And it has the textured grip, which is really awesome. Other than that, in the box itself, you get pretty much, again, the controller sits over here like this. And you get some user manuals kind of thing, which, again, does not matter much. So keeping that aside, let's look at the controller itself. And why did I buy this one in particular? If you know that I have also other controllers, for example, if you have seen, I already have this PS4 controller. And you might say, why did you buy this one when you already have a good controller? By the way, there's no issues with this. It's just the matter that these don't work as well, even with the driver. So there's an unofficial driver, you could say, for the PS4 to run on Windows. And you can play games with it. But the compatibility and the fidgetness which you need to do to make this work is really high. And so that's the biggest reason why I personally don't use this, and it's just sitting over there, which is, I would say, not the best thing to do. And so I got this one because I got the opportunity to get it for such a cheap rate. So I said, hell yeah, I'm going for this one. And, it's just going to be a great controller. Now, the reasons why I bought this controller. First of all, it was a banger deal, number one. Second of all, is the compatibility. As you saw, the reason why I talked about the PS4 controller was that this guy is super compatible with Windows devices. As I use Windows, in this case, is Windows 11. Any game, whenever a developer makes any games or tests out, or whenever the development process happens, they use this particular controller to make the game, to test the game, to check how the controls work and things like that. And whenever you're using a first party controller, you get the best compatibility. It's pretty much plug and play. You can just plug in your, your Xbox controller to your Windows device and it will just work. And that is one thing which I saw with my brother's one. So my brother has a pretty older one. So I think he has the Xbox One controller. This is the one, but that is a pretty older generation one. And I saw that in his, it was pretty much flawless. You could just plug any game in, open up Steam, plug a game in, and it will just work like without any issues. All the all the buttons are mapped into the proper places and things like that. And the reason why I got so used to it is because I do have, this is a pretty old one by the way, is this thing. By the way, this is not the, it's pretty much grubby as AF. This is not an original controller because you don't get one. If you see, it rattles around from time to time. But the thing is that even when I play games on the PC itself, I'm a console guy. And one thing what I love about consoles, again, this is a pretty old console, it's a PlayStation 2. And what I liked about a console is the fact that these just work out of the box. Just plug your CD in, or just download some things, and then, or from the store itself, and then you can just plug it, play it, and you're good to go. But whenever you're playing on a PC, it's a whole different story. If you don't use the keyboard and the mouse, having a third-party controller never works out very well. And that is the first reason, is the compatibility. Second thing is that the controller itself is super high quality. It has nice over here triggers, and even the joysticks over here are really nice. The color blue. And another thing is that Type C. Now the previous version, the one which my brother has, it has micro B. And again, it's not a deal breaker, but something which I felt was really much I wanted in my life. Thing is that if you have noticed, even my laptop currently is Type C. My phone, which is recording over here, the S21 Ultra, that is Type C. And I wanted all of my things to have Type C so that I only can carry maybe 1 or 2 cables and everything just works hunky-dory. And that's the biggest reason, that's one, at least not the biggest, is one of the reasons why I chose this one. Other than that, it has this. Currently, these are, not rechargeable batteries. These come in the box itself. So I said, I'll just use them. But you can, use or opt into rechargeable batteries. And the reason why I like rechargeable batteries is the fact that one of the things which people don't consider is longevity. Whenever you're buying anything, okay, say for example, this controller, you have to see that these are used for many, many years. Now, take this into consideration. This is the PS4 controller. It has an internal battery, which people are like, whoa, that's amazing. But what you need to know is that whenever the battery dies, you are basically flat out of luck. You have to plug into the cable, or you need to replace the battery. And getting proprietary batteries are much harder than getting these kind of AA batteries. And that's another reason. Even if you watch Linus Tech Tips, he would agree with the same mentality, that these kind of AA batteries are better than having a proprietary battery cell, which I like fully say, you should just have AA's like this. Now, again, you should buy, rechargeable ones, but that's another case itself. Cool. Now, I think I've already discussed about how can you buy it. I think so. Personally, I bought this from OLX, but again, this is not something you can just go ahead in any website and buy it. It's not possible. You need to just scour around the used market and you should get it. In my case, I have, in my locality, I have OLX and I have Flipkart, not Flipkart, Facebook Marketplace. That's the only two I have, at least in my region. And maybe you can have something like Craigslist or Kijiji or anything of that sort. It depends on place to place. So you can go ahead and then you can just buy something. Now, how can you check it? Now, again, this is in pretty minty shape. If you see, it has the awesome textured grip. It is white color and it's in really, really good condition. If you see this, like it feels, and it is a new controller. It's just 2 months old. And some of the pointers which I would love to address or give y'all whenever you're buying any used controller. Number one, see that it's not heavily used. Like that's the first thing. You can again check everything with this software. So for this, I'll be using a Type C to Type C. So this is from my power bank. Again, it really doesn't matter. So it's just Type C to Type C. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be plugging this in like this. I could have done with Bluetooth, but I'm just going to do it hard. Cool. So I've just plugged it in, and as you see, the Xbox logo lights up, which is pretty cool. Next thing what you need to do is you need to get this piece of software. This is available on the Microsoft Store, so you can just use it. So if you see over here, this thing is green over here because it's detected. You can put up to 4 controllers, which is pretty cool. Next thing what you need to do is click on new interface, and you get this thing, and then you need to do start testing. Select the controller, and you get this thing. Now what you need to do is let me just get this a bit closer so you guys can see a bit better, I hope. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to check if there's any dead spots. If you see over here, mine are pretty good. Again, my X and Y, I think so. I just need to explain this a bit. So yeah. So if you see over here, the X and Y is mine is at 0, which is pretty cool. So first you need to know if there's any dead zones. Whenever you're buying any controller, if it is used a lot, there will be quite a hefty dead zones. So if you can just do this and check if there's any dead zones. In my case, there's basically nothing. Next thing you need to check is the triggers itself. So you can just press them and then it will trigger like this. You see. Next thing you can check is these buttons. So you can check here, you can check all these buttons. Yeah, I just took a screenshot. You can just check buttons like this. And if everything seems good, then I would say you can purchase the controller itself. So that is one of the main things you need to do, at least when it comes to the used market. Never just blindly buy things, but just do some testing before before buying anything. So I'll just keep this right here. So that is one thing I would do. First thing I would do is download that piece of software, and I would just test it out in front of the person itself who you're buying it from. And if there's any dead zones or anything of that sort, if it is not that much, it's good enough. But if it's a lot, then you should not buy it, and just look out for something else. And that's that, guys. If you can do that, again, it depends on different devices. In this case, I've just shown you regarding a controller, but if you're buying something like a phone or a laptop or anything of that sort, the cases are different. So that can be maybe another video in the future, but for now I've just shown you how to buy a controller, or how to check and buy a controller in the used market. So you can just use the software and just do the tests and you're good to go. Cool. So other than that, I also got some accessories. So these I got from Amazon itself. These are some of the thumb grips, which I felt was important. One of the things which many people may disagree with me is that these thumbsticks should have been black. It would have looked super cool because it's like blue on blue. I don't know. I just felt that it wasn't the best. So I bought these. See over here, these don't cost 1,000 rupees. They were like 200 or 300 of that sort, and I got a good chunk of them. And so let's open this up, and the one which I'm going to be adding, so you see these are all the ones. So the ones which I'm going to be adding are these ones. So this is the white accent with the black. I really feel that the transparent ones, they look super cheap. I don't know. I just feel that way. And yeah, so I'm going to be adding these two on the controller itself. So let's add them right now. What you can do is you just need to, again, these are compatible with the PS4 too. So you can just put it like this and you're good to go. So these look pretty good. Let's put the other one. And there we go. This look way better. It also has, as the back is white, it has a nice accent and it looks pretty damn dope. See? Looks pretty cool. Okay, so the next ones which I wanted to showcase was with the PS4 controller. So I have these red ones over here. So let's just attach them. I think it's like just clip in and then do a circular motion, and then they fit pretty well. So this and a circular motion. Okay, and you're good to go. So these look pretty good. Awesome. Now I also wanted to test out with a PS2 controller, if I could put these, but from my previous testing, I think you can push it in if required, but it doesn't look like it's going to. If you see, the thumbsticks are a bit too big, but I think it is possible, but just that it's not easy to add it. But it seems like it's not possible. But because the thumbsticks are a bit too big in terms of the the size itself, so that won't work for them. But it'll work for the PS4, the Xbox, the PS3 controller, and so on. So it'll work for those, and these are pretty damn good. I got them in different colors. You see, white and black and stuff like that. Okay, so that's that. The next thing which I wanted to showcase before ending this video was the this case itself. This was the cheapest case I could find, or at least a good enough case for the Xbox controller. So I could just put it in like this. I could put some cables like this one over here, and I can just close it down. And if you see, it looks pretty dang good. The zipper itself, it's okay. I won't say it's the best quality zipper, but it really does the job. I think it's, again, this one also was around 300 rupees, which is good. I really feel that the handle itself looks super cheap. I really wanted to cut them out because of that, but this has come into use quite sometimes. Like, for example, if you're carrying too many things in your hand, you can just just hold this with one finger, which is really good. One thing to note is that I'll be maybe making an update video maybe in some months if I find any cracks or anything. Currently there's no cracks over here, but I have bought multiple things, like I have a PSP, I have a PS Vita. For those for the PS Vita is perfectly good because it's a cloth one. So I'll just showcase that to you. So these kind of cases, they work very well. But when it comes to these hard type cases with this rubberish kind of coating, they get these micro cracks over here, which doesn't look good. Again, it doesn't mean that it's not going to protect it. It just means that it's not going to look that good. Hopefully this doesn't get it, but I think my my hopes are a bit low in this case. Again, it's a cheap case at the end of the day. So yeah, that's basically that. The last thing which I wanted to tell is, why did I buy it in the first place? Again, as I told, the compatibility, blah, 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 that's fine. The main reason is to make the emulation video. And again, I wanted to make my life a bit easy. So that's the reason why I bought the controller itself. Emulation video is going to take more time. Again, the problem is that currently in my life, I don't have much time. And I try to make that emulation video is like pretty big, and that's the reason why I don't get like dedicated time to make a good video. So that's the reason why it's been delayed and here and there. And I bought this controller to make that life a bit easy, because configuring controls with different emulation is a pain. So that's the biggest reason. Also, I play a lot of console games. So I use it on my TV, on the PC itself, on the laptop. So it's a very versatile piece of kit and really durable. So that's basically that. So what are the takeaways from this video? Number one is that if you're buying a controller used, check all the parameters, like, do the tests and things like that. So with the game controller tester, again, it's available on the Microsoft Store. Second thing is that if it's a garbage controller, don't buy it. Buy official authentic controllers. It's never good to buy garbage controllers because garbage controllers are basically e-waste. So once they die, they're basically dead. And majority of the times the sticks, they basically just cram up. So let me just show that to you. This one is pretty good. But if you see this one, see, it doesn't go that well. It has this horrible dead zones and just gets stuck and things like that. So these are both these are the worst kind of, if you see, it's not good. They work, but they are not going to have you the greatest experience. So yeah, guys, never buy cheap controllers. Get the official ones. You're going to get better compatibility. You're going to enjoy more, not going to waste much time. And yeah, that's about it. So this wraps it up, guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.